Today, I'm honored to have an incredible guest, Desiree Dixon. She's a top producing realtor in Virginia, a single mom, an entrepreneur, and the founder of a nonprofit organization. Desiree stepped out on faith to build a thriving real estate career after being laid off during the pandemic. She's also the owner of Virtuous Threads, a brand that inspires others to go after the desires of their hearts in every area of their life. Desiree, welcome to Dapper by Design.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How
Awesome.
about you?
I'm doing well. It's been a great journey here. You have a famous phrase, I desire to be a realtor. Where did that come from? And what does that mean to you?
Well, my name is Desiree, which means desire in French.
Okay.
And I have a lot of friends that do call me Desire. And I just felt like that it kind of fit with my name and my brand. And I do desire to be your realtor. You ready to buy a house?
I need another house.
Yes, let's get you one.
We got kingdoms to build. So your journey into real estate, what a major leap of faith. Can you take us back to that moment when you decided that staying in corporate America or, you need to better yourself?
So I've always wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur. When the kids, like as children, when we playing our little make-believe games because we didn't have electronics and the internet, I'm playing, I own the restaurant, I own the bank. Those were the type of games that I played with my cousins. And I went to school for business administration and management. I have a bachelor's and a master's.
Come on, education.
Yes, yes. And paying hefty for it. But
aren't we all?
Right. Right. But I always wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur. And probably around like 2015, one of my friends had gotten into real estate and he told me I should do it too. I went through the motions, took the class, and I couldn't pass like the class so that I could get so I could test for my license. But at the same time, I found out because I worked for a big bank that I could not be a real estate agent and work for that bank at the same time. So because I kept failing the class, I just said, forget it. I ended up changing jobs, went to another company that allowed me to do real estate and work for them at the same time. And it was in the middle of the pandemic and like house prices they hadn't soared yet. But the rates were so low and people were buying left and right. I was like, yep, this is a good time. Definitely a good time for me to jump on in. So I did. And I got my license in February of 2022. Around that time is when interest rates started to tick up and house prices had already skyrocketed. Right. So what you saw in the mortgage industry, and that was the thing, I worked in the mortgage industry. I was actually a mortgage loan underwriter. So I was the person in the process that everybody hated. And as the rates went up and as prices went up, volume went down. So I'm at a company that I've only worked at for probably about a year and a half. And who's the first people to go?
Right.
So they laid me off in July. And after talking to God, I said, well, is this going to be it, God? Like, is this my step into full-time entrepreneurship? And it was and I haven't went back, even though it's been days I thought I was going to have to go apply for a job. But thanks be to God, I did not. Amen. I did not have to.
So what role does faith play into your decisions? I mean, I know we already, discovered that you talked to God.
Everything. Being an entrepreneur is really a faith walk daily, especially I can't even just say in real estate. I think in any form of entrepreneurship, it is a faith walk. It is something to work with someone for months, showing them houses, house after house after house after house. And then they decide, you know what? I'm just going to go and rent after I've shown you houses for 3 months. And I don't get paid until the deal closes, right? So, or having to convince people that home ownership is a good thing. Like, it's the number one wealth builder. Every millionaire owns real estate. Like that multiple properties. Like that is how it started. So trying to convince, and that's why I stopped trying. Like, I'm not going to convince you.
Right.
I'm going to give you the facts and you do with this information that you want to do with it. Like, I can't I don't want to feel like a used car salesman.
Right.
Have you ever been to like the car lot and
Like,
you just
get this
looking
one or get that
and
one.
they really like twisting your arm? I'm not doing that.
Wow.
I'm not doing that. So it's a faith walk. It's a daily, because you don't know where I'm sitting here now waiting. When is my next client coming? Like, when are they coming?
Right.
And I just have to trust God that they're going to come. Like last year was
Absolutely.
definitely a faith walk the entire year.
But you came up, those numbers, I've been watching you, those numbers were there.
Yes, yes. And it was like, God, the whole time I'm crying. The whole time I was begging, pleading, crying. And he was just looking at me like, ma'am, calm down.
Right.
Like,
I got you.
right? So yeah, everything about it is a faith walk.
Wow. So during those tough times, whether in business, motherhood, or personal life, how did you stay grounded in your faith? Like how...
We say so many cliche things. Like when you think about like all of the little cliche terms, I'm going to learn how to lean and depend on the Lord. I'm going to learn how to trust in him, and just all of the things that they said when we was kids. Like
really gotta do it.
All of them things just come back into mind. I know that God will never leave me nor forsake me, even though I feel forsaken. Like in the middle of it, it's like, God, are you even here? But he always shows that he is there. So he's never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. And I just stand on that.
Right. Amazing. So you encourage people to go after the desires of their heart. What does that mean to you? And how do you apply it to your life?
I have been trying to do this entrepreneurship thing. I have started several businesses. I started off with a plus size clothing boutique in 2013. 2015, I launched Virtuous Threads. All of these things, I just knew it was going to catapult me into full-time entrepreneurship, and it did not. So I'm just me telling you people to go after the desires of their heart. Go, keep going, because just because the route that you're taking isn't getting you there the way you want to, just change the route. Like, don't change the destination. Maybe you just got to take a different route. Maybe you need to pull up Waze and they give you like 5 different routes. Try each route until you can get there, and relentlessly go after the desires of your heart. You don't want to leave this earth saying that I wish I would have.
Wish I could have.
Right. I should have did this, or I should have did that. I hear like older people all the time, like, I wish I would have did that when I was young, or they feel like that they can't do something because they're at this age. No. If you want it, go get it. And ain't nobody going to give it to you. It's not going to fall in your lap. Go after it.
Amazing. So you're not just a realtor, as you just said. You're a business owner. You're a nonprofit founder. How do you bring all of that creativity in your work?
Time management. Time management. But they kind of all work hand in hand, right? So I am a woman of faith. So I did start a Christian apparel line. Now, I haven't done a lot with it in the past few years, but it's still there.
Those maps.
Website still works. And we still got some inventory. Virtuousthreads.com. VURCHOOUS threads.com. We still got some merchandise. But they all kind of go hand in hand. Like, my nonprofit was formed because I am from the Petersburg area. I'm from a county outside of Petersburg. But if you are from a county that's near a major city, you know that major city has shaped you in some way. So Petersburg really has shaped me. I worship in Petersburg. Like, my church is there. My sorority, the chapter that I'm in, is there. My home church is there, where I also serve at my home church. My family is there. So I started a nonprofit for the children and their families of that area. And within the nonprofit, I want to do things that I'm already doing, like uplifting the community, uplifting the children, making sure that their families are straight. Because as long as their families are straight, you know that the kids are going to be straight, which all still ties into me being in a sorority, that we are really big on giving back. And then being in real estate, which is also helping somebody obtain a goal or a dream or something that they may not have thought that they could do, or the first person in their family that has done something like that. So they all kind of like intertwine. And I just, my son is my assistant.
Come on,
we're going to try to start paying him this year.
Look, you can do that. Put him on payroll. Tax write-off.
Tax. Exactly. I'm putting myself on payroll and him.
That's it.
Yeah, I just try to include him in everything because it can be so easy to get lost in everything that you're doing and not include your child, especially when it's just me and him. So I just include him in everything that I do.
Awesome. So you've done a personal branding session with me before for your business. How important is it, do you think, that personal branding is for entrepreneurs and professionals?
Branding is important. It's a marketing tool. You're marketing yourself. You're branding yourself. Like, I am known as the girl with the pink hair. Now, I don't have the flaming pink hair, but I do have my pink streaks. This is my fall and winter hair. We decided to just try something different, but I've branded myself in a way that when you see that, you know it's me. You know, like, and I think that that's very important. It's kind of like your reputation, and that's what your branding is. And it's very important in business because you know when you see a bullseye, what is that?
Target.
Right. Right. You know, when you see the McDonald's arches, that's McDonald's. Like, that is a part of their branding. And that's why it's very important because you want people to see an image and think of you every time.
Awesome. So what is one project or initiative that you're most proud of?
I'm actually working on a couple right now that have not fully transpired, but they're on the way. One of them is with my nonprofit, and one of them is with the city of Petersburg, working with someone else on doing some big things in the city. I'm going to keep that one disclosed because we still working on that.
Work.
Yes. And but for the nonprofit, with nonprofits, you want to build like programs within your nonprofit so that when you do ask for grants and money and things like that, that they know what they're giving to. So one of the big programs that I have two. One of them is the ACT scholarship, which is ACT stands for Active Children Thrive, where I'll be doing a scholarship for kids where you basically apply and whatever extracurricular activity you want to do, whether it's football, dance, swimming lessons, whatever it is, because as long as the kids have things to do, it keeps them from doing things that get them in trouble. Right? So we're going to do that scholarship, and I have a program called the Bridge Program, where I bridge the gap between the children and the nonprofits in the city. As we've already talked about, I do 1,000,001 things, right? Not just being a mama with an active child and church and work and business and I'm everywhere. I didn't have the capacity as a nonprofit founder to create a whole summer program for kids. And why recreate the wheel if it's already people in the area that are doing it? What I have found is that I'm resourceful. I know a lot of people, right? So what we'll be doing is creating a summer enrichment program where I'll be bridging the gap between kids and nonprofits. So I'm working with 5 to 6 nonprofits where every week these nonprofits will have a summer program that they host for that week for the kids. And it's basically each week these kids are going to a different summer camp with a different nonprofit. And whatever that nonprofit needs in order for their camp to be successful, then my nonprofit, which is Pinky Cares, will bridge that gap. So if nonprofit A, they get a lot of kids for their summer program, but they have trouble transporting the kids, then Pinky Cares will come in and provide transportation. So if the other nonprofit is like, well, we have trouble getting a building, then Pinky Cares will help you find a building. We need food, or we can't get kids, whatever it is, Pinky Cares is going to bridge the gap
to fill it in.
So that's why it's called a bridge program. So we'll do the summer enrichment, and then we'll bridge gaps throughout the year as well whatever's needed, as we raise money for those type of things. But right now we're working on the Bridge program, summer program.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So what are some of the biggest challenges you face when starting your real estate career?
When you get your real estate license, that's all you're getting is a real estate license. No one is teaching you how to grow your business or how to sustain the business. And it can be a challenge.
Right.
But I joined a real estate team. So by joining that real estate team, I was able to learn some fundamentals. But really the challenge in growing a real estate business is prospecting. Because, it's different now than it was 20 years ago, where you were taking out ads in the paper and putting flyers on or billboards up or putting advertisements on buses. So it's really just trying to get yourself out there and finding the business. But that's what we have social media for.
Right.
But a lot of my business doesn't come from social media. They come from referrals. But a lot of them are referred to me from people that see me on social media. So
makes sense. And that's one of my biggest things. Like, God, I don't want to do all the social media marketing. I'm like, because I don't get clients from that. I keep saying that.
But you do.
I do, because my people that know me tell people about me. And you got to stay in front of people's minds.
You have to stay in front of people. And eventually it'll all work out. Like, everything works. Like, even if it's not working, it's still working. It's either working on you or working for you. I got that from Myron Golden. I love him.
Awesome.
But yes, that has been a challenge. Just trying to, and just maintaining, having consistent business has still been a struggle. Like, making sure every month that I have clients. But again, that goes back to prospecting.
Awesome. All right. So what are some of the key qualities that separate a good realtor from a great one? You have some good ones. You have some great ones. What are those differences?
Communication. Communication is key. And I did not have a terrible experience when I bought my house, but there were a lot of things that were not communicated to me to make me understand like what was happening when I got to close, and not understanding like what I had to bring to closing and things like that. So you don't want a realtor that's just going to drop off the face of the earth once you get under contract.
Right. You
want somebody that can continue to communicate with you and make things understandable. Also, a knowledgeable one or resourceful realtor, somebody that has a lot of different resources. There are a lot of different programs going on for first-time home buyers or not first-time home buyers, grants. Different banks do different things. So being able to tap in with an agent that may have a couple of agents or lenders that they use preferably, but they may have some ace in the hole that may be able to get a crazy deal done, right? So that being a resourceful agent, an agent that communicates, and an agent that cares, like that actually cares and does not make you feel like a commission check.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So for those looking to make a career pivot, whether it's real estate or any other industry, what are some key takeaways or advice that you would give them in that process?
Make sure that whatever you're pivoting to, that you want to do the work.
Want to do
it. Nothing is going to come to you easy. If it was easy,
right,
everybody would be doing it, right? And it wouldn't be so many people dropping out and quitting, whether it's real estate. And real estate is hard. I know these reality shows,
the TV shows make
reality shows make you think, oh, we getting Chanel and Gucci and red bottoms. Baby, do you know how hard them people had to work?
And they probably been working at it for a long time before they got to that point.
Right. A lot of agents quit within their first year or two. If you can sell a house your first year, you've accomplished something. I sold 2 my first year. 2.
Wow.
Second year, 7. No, 10. 10 my second year.
Wow.
It's 12 months in a year. Right. Last year I did 18. This year my goal is 40. So my my advice is make sure that you know what you want, that what you're going to do, you understand what it is and what it takes for you to do it, and commit to doing the work no matter how you feel.
Well, and I can testify about that too, because like even me, you know, starting off as a teacher, I was always going after the next thing. I tried Organo Gold, selling coffee. I wanted to do insurance, selling that. I was trying a lot of different things, and I got into it, started hard, made a lot of money, but it wasn't my heart. My heart wasn't there. So eventually it became, you know, laborious, and I just didn't want to do it. But when I fell on this camera, something happened.
And that's what I mean. Like, go after the desires of your heart, because at the end you still got the same destination.
You said that,
but you just gotta change. You gotta change the route.
Get me there.
Right. You gotta change the route, and you have to understand that it may not work out if you don't have the work, especially in real estate. If you do not have the work ethic, you can't just post on social media or tell your friends and family that you sell real estate now, because baby, them the last ones.
I'm about to say friends and family. Sometimes friends, but family definitely. Sorry, family.
They the last. They can be the last people to even support you. So
and a lot of them want discounts. You know, it's like, but you gonna pay them full price,
and you would go and pay somebody else full price. When I got to a stage that I could pay my aunt to do my hair, I paid her full price, because why? I was going to other people and paying them full price. So it's just never give up on the dream, but realize, don't feel that, oh, I just can't do it. You may not be able to do that.
I may not be able to do it today.
You might but make sure that you've done everything, you've tried everything in your power to make something work for you, and not just give up.
So let's talk about balancing family. Being a single mom, a businesswoman, and a nonprofit founder isn't easy. But how do you balance all of that?
I thank God for my mom. And I do have some friends that will help me out from time to time as far as balancing my child. But it's really time management. It's really time management. My phone goes on Do Not Disturb at 4:30, from 4:30 to 7:30. And that is supposed to be my time with my child. Sometimes, because, you know, people get off, they can't talk during the day, so they may need to talk after work and stuff like that. But I try to make sure that I carve out time for him specifically. And I create a schedule. Before I came here today, I was on the phone with my accountability partners talking about my schedule, like talking about what do I do. I get up at 4:50. Well, starting tomorrow, I'll be getting up at 4:15, which is 30 minutes earlier than when I get up. But like, just getting up, making time for God in the morning. Making sure that I schedule my chores. Like, I wash these color clothes on this day and these clothes on that day, and I clean this room on this day and this room on that day. Now I gotta follow these plans, but I do.
But you gotta plan.
I gotta schedule. Now we just gotta try to make sure we following it every week. But just putting systems into place to make things as easy as I can, and then on days that I need some extra hands, being able to call on people to help me.
Wow. And that's like one of the things, even, you know, my podcast, Dapper by Design, living by design, not by default, like scheduling things out, you know, planning your life, setting up, you know, systems in place so that you can be successful. And it has really helped me in this process, you know, getting on this journey and like seeing how can I better help myself. And then now I'm trying to see how can I help other people in their journey. You know, I've been reading the book, 5 a.m. Club. So you said 4:15.
I read that book.
I'm like, 4:15?
I've read that book.
5 o'clock is like, some mornings I'm jumping out the bed. Some it's like snooze one time, and then my second alarm comes on.
You know, I'm used to it now because I get on a prayer call from 5 to 6. So I used to wake up at 4:55, and that would give me time to like get up, go downstairs. So I wouldn't disturb my child, get my Celsius and drink that. That's my coffee. Get my Celsius and come back downstairs and just go downstairs and get on the call. And I'd be on there from 5 to 6. Then I said, you know what? I want to get up a little bit earlier so I can spend my own time with God and pray for 15 minutes. And then this morning in prayer, I was like, you know what, God? I don't be reading my Bible like I need to. I probably needed to add some time in here to actually like study. So I'm going to get up at 4:15 because it's only 30 minutes. Like it's only 30 minutes. So I'll get up at 4:15, do 15 minutes of prayer, and then 30 minutes of study. And then it's time to get on the prayer call.
Awesome. Wow. So what is one piece of advice that you can give to other moms who are chasing their dreams?
Don't let these children stop you. Do not let these kids stop you. Do it by any means necessary and include them in your dreams. I feel like that they'll appreciate you for it in the long run. And if you include them in the things that you're trying to do, you won't really feel like that you're neglecting them. And it's easier said than done because you're gonna always have mom guilt.
Yeah.
I have it all the time. Thinking, like I just was talking about this earlier, like I want to get to the gym early, right? Like, because I can't start my day at 11 o'clock.
Right.
I want to get to the gym earlier, but is it fair for me to have to wake my child up an hour before he would really have to get up?
Wow.
So he can go to the gym with me for 30 minutes and then I take him to school. So I'm battling with that. But just include the kids and still go after your dreams. Right. You just got to find the balance, because before you look up, you'll realize that you've wasted all this time has gone by, and something that you could have just started 5 years ago could be further along had you just started 5 years ago, but you didn't do it because you were putting the kids first. Like, I get it. Like, I get it, but you got to make time for yourself, because when they grow up, you will have lost yourself.
Right. And then you got to start over like, who am I now?
Right. I talked to a young lady a few weeks ago. I used to be her manager when I was an assistant store manager for a big box retailer. And she has, I think, 2 or 3 kids now. When I was her manager, she was pregnant with the first one. So she was telling me how he's 15 now. I think they do have 3 kids now. And she was just like, I just feel like I've lost myself. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom now, and I don't know who I am outside of being a mom. What's going to happen when the kids go out the house?
Right.
You're going to have to find yourself all over again. Don't try not to lose yourself in parenthood. It's easy to do and hard to try to pull yourself out, but make time for you.
So how do you define success in this stage of life?
For me, at this moment in my life, success for me is being able to provide all of me and my child's needs through the grace of God, and some of our wants.
And some of our wants.
Yeah. Through entrepreneurship, I have successfully attained my dream of being a full-time. I've done it, and I'm doing it, and I'm still doing it. And I did not and do not have to go back to corporate America. So right now, that's what success looks like for me.
Awesome. Living by design, not by default.
Come on.
So what legacy do you hope to leave behind? Your family, your clients, the people you serve?
I want people to know that I have a heart for people, and that, especially for my child, I really want to leave behind a great work ethic for him. A go-getter, a hard worker, a dream chaser. I want him to be a trust fund baby too. We're going to do that too. But I want to see people thrive. I want to see people thrive. I want to see people live out their dreams and their goals unapologetically. Regardless of what the people say. Do you, and do it with grace, and do it with God.
All right. So some fun questions. What is your favorite book or podcast to listen to right now?
I've been listening to Atomic Habits.
I just got that book.
Yes, I listened to it last year, and I was listening to it when I was coming back from visiting my sister during Christmas. I listened to it on the plane, since we had such a long plane ride. But listened to it on the plane. Again this year, I was listening to it again this morning. So that is a book that I think that everybody should read. I also love, for entrepreneurs, I love Myron Golden.
Okay.
He is a basically like a coach, a business coach that teaches business principles based off of King Solomon. Love Myron.
I think I heard the name.
I love Myron. Dark skinned man with gray hair. You got y'all got to check Myron out
for a couple
for
reasons.
sure. Yes, if you are a business owner or want to start a business, you need to listen to Myron. You need to listen to Myron. I love him.
So talking about those atomic habits or any habit, what is one habit that you swear by for success?
Getting up early.
Yeah. And I was talking to my best friend. We talk every day, and he's seeing my progress and journey. Like when I get up extra early, it feels extra early, but it's really my time to get up now. It's not extra. But like I get so much done before my day starts. Like I get up, I take care of myself, or go to the gym. I can, eat my food, meal prep, plan my stuff. And I'm like, man, it's just 8:00. I got so much day left.
Right.
Like,
right.
Get up, people. I'm telling you, it's a thing.
Yes, definitely. You need to wake up.
Yourself.
You sleeping for what? Get up.
Get up.
Money
get
to
off
be
that
made.
phone because
right.
you up. You scrolling. You wasting time.
You're wasting time. Get on up.
So what's one quote or mantra that you live by?
Just what I said. I don't know the scripture, but I've never seen the righteous forsaken nor his seed begging for bread.
Okay.
That I live by that. I have had to remind myself, you can do all things through Christ.
Yeah.
That strengthens you.
Do it. So what's one actionable takeaway that you can leave with our audience? That you can tell them.
One takeaway for them?
Mm-hmm. One thing that you want them to take away from our conversation today or from you.
You just trust and believe. Whatever you ask, you shall receive. Whatever you want, God's got it. It's yours. You just need to do the work.
Do the work.
Do the work.
Faith without works is dead.
Yes, when God finds you, he needs to find you working. When he gives you the thing that you want and that you desire, you need to be working in it. You need to be working in it. He cannot give you something that you're not even actively working towards.
So Desiree, how can people connect with you?
I am on all social platforms for the most part. I'm on Facebook under Desiree Dixon. Don't find me there, though. That's a different type of, Facebook different, right? I am on Instagram and TikTok, and my handle is desire, the number 2, the letter B, _ you are for your realtor. So desire to be _ your realtor at TikTok and Instagram. And you can find me on YouTube at Desiree Sales RVA.
All right, Desiree, sell it up.
Yes.
All right. So what's next for you in your journey?
Next for me in my journey, I am going to be tapping into real estate development and growing this nonprofit.
Awesome. Wow, what an incredible conversation with Desiree. Your journey from stepping out on faith to becoming a top producing realtor, an entrepreneur, and a nonprofit founder is proof that when you align your faith with action, amazing things can happen.
Amen.
So to everyone listening, if you found value in today's episode, do me a favor, subscribe to Dapper by Design so you don't miss out on future conversations like this one. If Desiree's story resonated with you, take a moment to leave a review. Share this episode with a friend and tag us on social media. We love to hear your biggest takeaways. Until next time, remember, you were created to live by design and not by default. Stay intentional, stay inspired, and I'll see you again on the next episode of Dapper by Design.
Did you get me? Horrible.